I used to pretend that I didn't like the guys that I did because of fear of rejection. It's true, I was eating a lot, but I just didn't want you to see that I was eating a lot. I was just so fat and dumb. I didn't even think like, wait, people can tell. I mentally just felt like we all look the same, and then you pass by like a window or something and then you see the reflection of yourself and you're like, oh my god, I did not look like these people. Hey guys, it's Jermaine and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, I just want to say welcome. My name is Jermaine. I make videos about the fat acceptance, fat liberation, body positive movement. I share with you guys my thoughts in this community and also how they influenced my life back when I was obese myself. I believe in a lot of their teaching. I followed a lot of their ways, and then somewhere along the way I had an epiphany. I used my own brain, I changed my life, and now I'm here exposing this movement. So if you're into those kind of videos, you'd like to hear my take and stuff, then you might want to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell because I upload new videos at least once a week. And if you're returning to my channel, I just want to say welcome back. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for being a part of my little family here on YouTube. I love you and appreciate you so freaking much. Now, without chatting any further, let's get straight into today's video. So today's video, by the title, you already know what I'm talking about. I'm going to be telling you guys some lies that I lived as a fat or a obese person, almost morbidly obese person. I feel like I may have covered bits and pieces of things that I'm going to talk about in this video in some of my other videos. Like I bring it up now and again once a while, a little bit here and there. But today I want to do like an entire video telling you guys about the fake self that I created, the fake person that I was, or the lie that I lived, or the lies that I would tell people as a fat person because I was just so ashamed, because I was insecure, I had no self-worth. Because of all of that, I felt the need to lie or be someone that I was not. As I've shared many times in this video, how I used to be a part of fat acceptance, and what I mean by that is I genuinely believed that there was nothing wrong with me because I was told that there was nothing wrong with me by the people that I love. I was told there's nothing wrong with me by media and that I didn't need to change, but other people needed to change. And I sort of believed that, and I sort of looked at myself as this victim where this is who I am, I'm stuck in this body, and I can't believe that people are so shallow and that they don't accept me or think that this is beautiful. When in fact, I myself struggled to believe that I was beautiful. Finding it hard to believe that I was beautiful is part of the lie that I lived. Like I want to share that in this video as well, because a lot of people in my life used to think that I was this really confident person because of the way I used to dress. Like I used to wear this like Justin Bieber shoes. I used to be like really colorful head to toe. Like my outfits were always super colorful.
I wanted the fame, but not the covers of Newsweek. Oh well, guess beggars can't be choosy. Wanted to receive attention from my music. Wanted to relax to low public, excuse me. But wanting my cake and eat it too, and wanting it both ways. Well, that's not bad. Whoa-oh, 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 whoa-oh. Well, that's not bad. Whoa-oh, whoa-oh.
But all of that was just me compensating for what I was truly feeling on the inside, and that was ugly. A little backstory. When I was younger, I was the exact opposite of being overweight. I was extremely underweight. So I just never had like a normal era in my life. I was either extremely underweight or extremely overweight. Like I'm always this extreme or that extreme. So when I was younger, from the time I was born, as I started like growing up and stopped like drinking milk and eating like any other normal kid, I didn't have an appetite, and so my parents were very concerned. I would always get gastric. I would always be rushed to the hospital. My mom used to give me Epiton. I don't know if you guys know Epiton. It's like this kind of vitamin C type thing that you give kids, but it's to develop their appetite. And so I used to have to take that, and I was like really underweight and really small, and my parents were very concerned. And I was that way until I was like 5-6 years old. After 6 years old, I began eating, but I was not eating a lot. Like I was still eating like very little. I was always eating like very little. Eating was something that I just constantly needed to be pushed to do. And I remember as a kid, I used to pray and tell God, Lord, just make me fat so that no one would pester me about eating anymore. I used to pray this all the time. I used to get spanking. I used to cry. Like just the whole meal time used to be this really stressful moment of the day. I remember my stomach churning when I could smell my mom cooking, or if I was staying at any relative's house. As soon as I can smell them cooking, I start to get nervous. My stomach starts churning. Like I know it's about to happen again, this traumatizing time. Like it is so ironic that I'm the far opposite when I grew up. And then along the way, when I was 6 years old, my dad left, and my mom like became a single mom overnight. She was not working before that. She was a housewife, and then she had to like figure things out. And so for a little while, she put my sister and I in an orphanage home. So we stayed in a home, I want to say, from the time I was like 8 years old to halfway through 9 years old. But as soon as I was 9 years old and I came back to my family, I was happy to be with my mom. My grandfather had moved in to help my mom take care of my sister and I, so my mom could go to work. I was filled with joy that I was eating all the time, and out of nowhere I just had this massive appetite. I was always hungry, I was always eating, and to my mom this was good because her little girl, from never eating, always like starving, having to be rushed to the hospital and gastric and all of this, her eating is a good thing. So my mom never looked at how me overeating could be a negative until I started losing weight and I told her myself about the dangers of obesity. She never looked at it as it was a bad thing at all. When it comes to food, as soon as I'm hungry, even if I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, I'm hungry, I want food, my mom's gonna get me food. My mom's gonna make me something. Like, she was never a no. It's too late, go sleep, no eating. I remember vividly, there was one time when my grandfather had won like a hamper. So this hamper was like a bunch of like biscuits and drinks and like all kinds of cookies and crisp and whatnot, okay? And it was like this huge hamper that he brought home. He won it at a lucky draw, and I finished everything in that hamper in like 2 days. And I remember my mom freaking out. She was like, Jermaine, that could last us for so long. And we were broke at that time. We didn't even have much money. So to us, like, it was very rare that we would get things like this. And so for me to finish up everything in like 2 days, my mom was like freaking out. But I really don't know where this appetite came from. It just suddenly came. By the time I was 10 years old, I weighed 80 kg. I was being told that I was bigger than my mom. And by the time I was a teenager, I was in the 90s of kgs. Basically, I was just a really heavy girl. And I remember I would always lie to people when they asked me what I weighed. I don't know why I was so dumb, but here's the first lie. I used to always lie to people about how much I weighed. I don't know why I was doing this because people have eyes, but I used to tell people that I weighed 60 kg. When I was 90 kg, guys, like, anybody can see that I was not. I don't even know why I thought I could get away with a lie like that. This is like those people that go and edit their photos and then make themselves look slimmer, and then you don't realize, wait, why is the wall bending? I was just so fat and dumb. I didn't even think like, wait, people can tell. When I was in school, I used to lie to people and say that I didn't want to take part in certain activities that they were doing. If like my friends were going to go out, or even if like a group of people like from any club that I was a part of, if they were to go out or do a certain activity, I would always say, oh no, I don't want to go, or I don't want to join. And it wasn't because I didn't enjoy doing stuff. The truth was, I didn't know whose car we were going to be in, and if I would take up too much space, if I'll be able to fit. If I sit in the car, would other people be able to get in? And I don't even know whose car we're going in. Like, what if I don't know the person that well? It would be embarrassing. So I just set things out to avoid embarrassment. I would always say no thank you when people offered food, even if I really wanted it and everyone was having it. But if someone offered, I would always be like, oh no thank you, because I don't want you to know that I eat food. Because people always associate like fatness with you eat a lot. And so it's true, I was eating a lot, but I just didn't want you to see that I was eating a lot. I just didn't want to be the fat girl that eats. But behind closed doors, I was scoffing my face. So this is what pisses me off when fat acceptants are like, oh, fat people shouldn't be shamed for eating food. It is true, you shouldn't be shamed for eating food. Everybody needs to eat. The problem is not you eating food. The problem is after you finish making your fat liberation, body positive content and post it on TikTok, you go to your room and then you scoff your face with pizza, burgers and all of it in one sitting. That's the problem. You're not eating like a normal person. When I was in school, I used to avoid the cafeteria. I used to always like say, oh, I'm so tired, or I got a little bit more work to do, and ask my friends to go help me buy my lunch because I didn't want to be seen in the school cafeteria queuing up to buy my food. I was just embarrassed to queue up and people to see me buying food. And after getting my food, I'll force them to go with me to like some secluded part of the school, like maybe some gazebo somewhere that nobody's walking by that area. Let's go sit over there, and then that's where I eat. But I would never want to eat in the school canteen or eat where there's a lot of people because I was shy. I was ashamed. And after I was like 16 years old, I became a little bit more senior in school, and so I slowly became more confident. I used to like perform a lot. I used to like be on stage a lot, and all this just made me more confident and made me a little bit more well known in school, that I wasn't so shy anymore. So that shifted from me being like so timid and so shy and like let's eat in a hidden place. It became me just making fat jokes about myself, so that when other kids made fun of me, I would just like laugh along and pretend as if I'm not hurt by it. My friends in school used to think I was the most confident person, and it was because I was very like loud. I was laughing and joking and making myself the butt of the joke. I used to do silly dances in my class, and like I was just like kind of like a class clown. Yep, that's what I was. I was a class clown. Guys, look at me. Do I look like someone who would have been a class clown? I feel like I'm so demure. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I feel like someone's gonna attack me for this. But yeah, that's the truth. I was always like laughing and being silly and making my friends laugh. The truth is, I was not confident. I was overcompensating. I was ashamed of myself, and I was only ever proud when I would be walking with a group of my friends. So, one more funny thing, which I don't think this counts as a lie, but in my head, I used to really think that I look really good when I walk because all my friends are slim. I was the only fat one, and I used to think I look like them when I walk. When we walk around school, I used to think like, oh, I'm strutting the streets looking like pussycat dolls or something, like me and my friends just walking around like Regina George and the gang. Like in my head, I thought we all looked the same. Okay, maybe that's a lie that I probably told myself because I mentally just felt like we all looked the same. And then you pass by like a window or something and then you see the reflection of yourself and you're like, oh my God, I did not look like these people. After losing weight and like working on myself and feeling more confident, I realized I became more quiet, which is so odd because you think that when you're more confident, you're more louder. But I feel like when I was loud, when I used to be the ha 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 loud person, I was not confident on the inside. I was like putting on a show and pretending to be something I was not. As soon as I was really confident, I was fine to just sit down and be quiet and to not be noticed or to not make everybody laugh. I didn't have to be the funny one all the time. I could just be myself. I know my self-worth. I know who I am. I don't have to be doing stuff to feel like I need people to accept me. I need people to accept me. Whereas back then, I feel like my sense of humor was what I used to make people accept me, to make people like want to be around me. That's why I cannot believe that these people are confident.
Vogue, you can go see my face in Nordstrom's, Ulta Beauty, Morphe brushes.
That's because of
I am like,
that's a political push to politicize a message nobody wants. Like,
say I was an ugly fat girl, which I'm not, and I'm confident in that. Would they still put me in Nordstrom's? Because
yes,
that's my face.
It's a political agenda.
That's my face. You can't see my body. I'm gorgeous.
It's political.
I'm gorgeous.
They're trying to push a political message.
Push a political message of what? You can't see my body. I have literally been handpicked by my waist up and told I am one of the most beautiful models in the world. I get flown from New York to LA to Canada to everywhere in between. And you think it's because I'm ugly?
Because confident people don't push you to believe that they are beautiful. Confident people are like, I know my worth. I know I'm beautiful. So even if you tell me I look like a wall, it's fine. That's your opinion. Beauty is subjective. Maybe to you I look like a wall and to another person I look like Princess Tiana. I feel like that's what confidence is. Confidence is literally, I know who I am. I know my worth. I'm not yapping and shouting and fighting with people and being like, I'm a 10, I'm a 10. How dare you not call me a 10? How dare you not see me as a 10? Confidence is not boasting about yourself or referring to yourself as a supermodel. Confidence is letting your work speak for itself. You know who you are, you know what you have to offer, and if the other person doesn't see it, and it's okay. It's fine. I would lie when I would tell people that I'm a homebody. Your girl is not a homebody. I love going out. Like every single, I cannot do more than one weekend in a month where I'm not going out or doing anything. I love doing stuff. Or even sometimes if I'm at home, like just say it's a Saturday afternoon, I'm at home from Saturday morning to Saturday afternoon, and then by evening I'm like, I wonder if anyone's free. I want to go out. I want to do something. Even if it's just grocery shopping. Like, I love going out and about. But I used to lie to people and say I was a homebody. And I thought I was a homebody. But the truth is, there were two reasons why I avoided going out. Number one, I was afraid of being in a position that would expose my fatness even more. And what I mean by that is, what if I went out with my friends and they wanted to go to a place that required a lot of walking? I cannot walk for long. Or again, the same fear. What if I had to squeeze in a car with a bunch of other people and then the car's too small and we all can't fit and I'm the cause of it? A lot of times what would happen if I'm going out with friends and there's a couple, and just say if it's like a husband and wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend and the guy is driving the car, his wife or his partner would have to sit in the back seat because I was so big I couldn't sit in the back seat, so I have to sit in the front seat. I felt like an object, like you were moving an object from your house. And you know how you need to like rearrange your sitting arrangement in a car because you got this big huge fridge or something to bring on a journey. Like I literally felt like that. I used to feel so embarrassed. Like I cannot believe like you have to shift your logistics because of me. Now you have his partner sitting in the back seat because this fridge of a person needs to sit in front. Or what if we were going to do something activity related? I could not physically do it. Or what if it was water related and I need to go into the water with tight clothes and then come out of it with everything just sticking on my body like that? I just couldn't. Secondly, it was because I just didn't want to be around too many people. I didn't want to expose my fatness to people. Like, I didn't want people to see me, to just look at me as a fat person, if that makes sense. I didn't want people to look at me as a fat person and think, oh my gosh, how did she get there? How did she allow herself to get this far? Like, I didn't want to be that person. I was already hearing it all the time. People were coming up to my mom, coming up to me, being like, hey, Elizabeth, your daughter is really big. She's so overweight for herself, for her age. People were saying things like this all the time, and I just didn't like hearing it. Recently, I went to the clinic. I used to go there since I was like 12 years old. And one of these nurses, she's always been working there, and she's like the slim, tall lady. And so she walks in the afternoon to check in for work. She brings her daughter, who's this overweight girl. And as I'm standing there, someone else walks into the clinic and then starts talking to this nurse. And then she's like, hey, is that your daughter? Then she's like, yeah. I said, how old is your girl? She's like, oh, she's 13 years old. And the lady was like, wow, 13, she is huge. I could only imagine how that mom felt. And the mom is like the slim, tall lady. And the daughter is like this massive. Oh my God, it reminds me of Gabby from Desperate Housewives and her daughter. But really, that's what it was like. Like, I felt so bad for the mom, but at the same time, it is the parents that are calling the shots. It is the parents that are controlling the kids eating. It is the parents that decide whether the kid goes out and do activity or not. Like, when you're young, your metabolism is so high, you can burn it just by doing a lot of activities. But this is really a constant occurrence when you're in Malaysia. Some random auntie is going to come and tell you how fat and monstrous your kid looks. In the same clinic that I always go to, there is this nurse that works there, and she's this massively huge lady, and I didn't know that she was sick, but apparently she had diabetes. And I used to see her from the time I was young. She's always there, and she's middle-aged. Okay guys, she's probably like in her 40s or mid-40s. Recently I went there, I saw that she wasn't there, and then somebody was having a conversation with the other nurse. Guys, this is Malaysia. Nurses be exposing everyone's personal life story to other patients when they're like talking through that window thing. Like, there is no boundary. Anyway, so they were like talking, and so I kind of eavesdrop. I mean, it was so loud. I didn't eavesdrop. It was just so loud. So the lady was like, hey, where's the whatever her name is? I can't remember. And she said the lady passed away. She passed away in her bed in her house from diabetes, and she left behind teenage kids. She has children, teenagers.
So when it comes to the right way to eat, just eat whatever you want.
Another lie that I used to lie to everyone that I was full when I was not. I would go to parties, I would go to events or whatever where there's a lot of people and I'm eating. I'll eat just a little bit, just like them, and then I go home and have my next meal. So to the people around me, it looked like I wasn't eating a lot, because in front of your eyes, I'm not eating a lot. But then when I go home, I'm eating food that you didn't even know I had. I feel like I've shared this before, but I remember whenever we go for like Deepavali function, we visit like relatives or my mom's friends, they would always like pack some food for us. So when I'm there, I'll eat like a tiny little dainty princess. Just eat a little bit, and then they would pack food for us, take it back home, tell my mom, nope, don't put it in the fridge. I'll heat it up and I'll sit and eat again while everyone else go to bed. And then I'm like, why am I fat? I was in denial is what I was. If we were in a waiting area, I used to lie that I didn't need to sit because I was fearful of breaking something. So if the chair or if the area that people were sitting on, it didn't look stable enough, I would be in fear of breaking it. So I would just stand and tell people I'm fine, when in fact my legs were killing me. I used to pretend that I didn't like the guys that I did because of fear of rejection. I mean, it's most definitely they would have rejected me, but still, I used to be like, it's not my type. When in fact, Jermaine, he's not your type because you fear that you're not his type, which is all the fat acceptance, is it not? And they're like, he's not even my type. Like, you know, in a heartbeat, you date anyone that would have you. Come on now. I know that too because I did that too. I dated people that I just didn't want to talk to because I felt like that's the best I could do. We don't have types. We never had types. We just put up with any type that would have us, because that's what zero self-worth does to you. Which is why I say, like, I feel like weight loss you don't just lose weight. If you do weight loss the right way, with like mentally right and everything, you don't just lose weight, but you also develop a self-worth because you've invested so much into yourself and now you're a whole other person. I used to pretend as if I was taking orders for more than one person when I was ordering food at a restaurant because I didn't want to be seen like I was eating a lot. So I used to be like, one moment, Janet, who's my sister, I'd be like, Janet, what exactly is it that you wanted? Okay. I'd pretend I was reading a text of what the other person wants to order, and I'll be like, okay, can I get another cheeseburger? This is so cringe. I never thought one day I'll be talking about this on the internet, exposing myself. Let me know if you're a fat person or if you were a fat person and you can relate to any of the things I'm saying. Please don't let me feel like I'm alone and crazy, guys. Let me know if you can relate to any of this. The funniest thing is, after I lost weight, there would be times where sometimes I would be like, I'm craving this, but I'm also craving that, like how I used to before. And I'll be like, okay, I think today I'm just going to go and get both of it. And then I would buy it and I would eat one of it, and I realized that I have no more, like I'm too full to eat the next one. And then I'll put it in the fridge or I'll keep it for another meal. And that's when I would be like, oh my gosh, I used to eat a lot. Like I never really realized I was eating a lot until I started losing weight. And I realized, oh my God, there was actually a lot of food. I was eating so much. So when fat acceptance are like, diet culture is why fat people blah blah blah. No diet culture. Just eat normal. Don't eat 2 plates of rice. Just eat one. You want to go get your burger? Go get your burger. But after you get your burger, don't go get another burger and then go and eat some snacks in between and then go and eat ice cream on top of that. Then of course you're fat. You know what I mean? Like, no one's asking you to do any drastic diet. No one's saying only eat salads. No, of course if you do that, you would lose the weight and then you would gain it back. That's common sense. Everyone knows it's not sustainable. So if you just eat one person's serving of food, I promise you'll not be fat. The only reason you're fat is you're eating 10 helpings. Everything just has to be extreme with them. It's either this or that. There's nothing in between. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Those were the lies that I lived as a fat person. Let me know if you can relate to any of this. If any of this is you, I would love to hear it in the comments below. Let me know so I don't feel too alone. I don't know if all this stuff are like TMI. Never did I think one day I'll be sitting on the internet telling these stories to people. That's it for this video. I hope you guys liked this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because I upload new videos at least once a week. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. The links are in the description box below. And I'll see you guys in my next video.